Good evening. Thank you for joining us for another town hall. Today is Wednesday, April 22nd. I have a quick update on the numbers. We're now looking at 14,117 cases in Ohio with 39 cases here in the county. And we're now at 3 deaths. I want to thank you all for all that you've done to flatten the curve. It is working. In fact, here in the county, we've gone 7 days without new cases. So we remain at 39 cases. That highlights our efforts and how effective our efforts have been. So I want to thank you and encourage you to continue to practice basic protective measures, because this is how we're going to be able to get through this. We're not out of the woods, so it's important that you continue to do that. And what we do now matters, and will continue to have an impact down the road as we work our ways out of this. This is particularly important to think about as we and here in Yellow Springs and the state, and also nationally, around the conversation of gradually lifting the restrictions. You've heard that May 1st date. I think that doesn't mean that all of us get to go out and play at the same time. It's going to be a gradual implementation or a gradual lifting of restrictions. We're doing our part to think how we can be proactive in engaging our residents, engaging visitors, to encourage them to continue to practice protective measures, while also doing things that we can ensure that we have a lower density in our community. So as the governor and other agencies, particularly the Greene County Public Health Agency, are drafting guidances on how we would gradually ease the restrictions, we're working with those agencies to identify how we fit in the big picture. So in that aspect, we're talking about parkings. Our parking lots will likely open, but they're not going to be open for all spots are going to be open. So we'll look to reduce density by limiting parking. But again, we're still in the early stages of this. We're expecting additional guidelines by the end of the week or sometime next week to determine what industries and what do these gradual lifting of restrictions look like. I've received several questions about pool. As you know, our pool it's typically opens on May 25th, being Memorial Day. Given the circumstances, we're not going to say we're going to open that date. We need additional guidance from both the governor and the public health authorities to determine if a pool can even open. We're committed to opening the pool, but we don't know, what will be the restrictions for the pool. So that's still a work in progress. I want to remind you of the changes to the virtual town hall schedules. We are moving to a twice a week virtual town hall on Mondays and Wednesdays. So for this week, tonight is the last virtual town hall, and we'll have another one next Monday and Wednesday. Joining me tonight is Fire Chief Colin Altman, Police Chief Brian Carlson, Terry Holden, Yellow Springs Superintendent, and Mayor Pam. And now I will give the floor to Fire Chief Colin Altman. Chief.
Thank you, Josue. Miami Township Fire Chief Colin Altman coming to you live from the Pirates Cove Bar on the Pacific Princess cruise ship, television's Love Boat. I'm here today with the members of Brian Housh's Strike Force Alpha, including Johnny Burns, Andrew Lloyd, Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber, Kathy Lee Gifford, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and oddly, WYSO General Manager Luke no, Luke, we're not calling you sir. Luke Dennis. We're here with some important messages about the future. First off, Josue touched on this, May 1st. Everyone's excited. Everyone thinks on May 1st, we're all going to McDonald's. We're going to swing by Elsa's, and then we're going to go to JCPenney and maybe even Sears and Kmart if we can find one. And I'm just going to tell you, don't hold your breath. We live in a state where we have a Republican governor who actually believes in science, which is shocking in and of itself. I was on a conference call this morning with members of the governor's staff, and it sounds like May 1st is a target, but a very soft one. So we're looking at a long rollout, because Dr. Acton and the governor want to make sure we don't have a return to what we're doing. So don't expect on May 1st to run out to your favorite retail store just yet. It's going to take a little bit of time. I would expect around May 1st, you'll probably see elective surgeries starting up at hospitals again. Not the excitement we were all hoping for, but if you're a hospital administrator, that's probably pretty exciting. With that, a lot of questions come up about our business community here in Yellow Springs, and YS Chamber Director and Grand Poobah Karen Wintrow convened a group yesterday. Myself, Manager Salmaron, the Police Chief Carlson, we were all in on it, talking about processes and procedures to slowly reopen businesses with the business community. So there's a lot of work going on, but we're still waiting on guidance from ODH as well as Green County Public Health. But rest assured, we're working on it and working on messaging to get people understanding when our stores and our way of life here in Yellow Springs is going to reopen. Many people have also worried about what are we going to do when the hordes of visitors come, because it's going to be a beautiful weekend this weekend or next weekend or sometime eventually we will have a beautiful weekend. As a 30-year veteran of the emergency services and emergency management, I would tell you they're going to come. The village has done some outstanding efforts to try and dissuade people, and the chamber has done that as well. People are going to show up. Let them. If they want to walk the bike trail, let them. We're going to stay home. We're going to be safe. They're not bringing clouds of contaminants with them. So it should be okay. If you have issues with people, report them to the police department, let them deal with it. Lastly, the governor today rolled out a new hotline for people to call if they are having problems just coping with everything that's going on right now. It's through the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. And it's a toll-free number available 7 days a week between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. And you'll be connected to a counselor who can help you with some coping strategies and probably refer you to other resources. So I'll give you that number, and I apologize I didn't give it to Philip earlier to make a slide. The number is 1-800-720-9616. Again, 1-800-720-9616. That's the Ohio crisis line, for lack of a better term, right now, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., 7 days a week through Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. There, if you just need help coping with what's going on, there's a lot of craziness going on. So call them, they're there to help. With that, I'm going to try and break up a fight that just broke out between Kathy Lee Gifford and Justin Trudeau. So if you have nothing else, back to you, Josue.
Thank you, Colin. But you got Johnny right there. He's pretty handy.
Oh, Johnny's on it. He's got it.
All right. We will now give the floor to Brian Carlson. Chief.
Thank you, Josue. Chief Altman. Good evening, everyone. Not much new to report from the police department. Your department members are doing well. We're fielding a few more calls than usual. Just want to remind everyone to stay diligent regarding social distancing, wearing your masks, and we will all get through this together. In light of what Colin had mentioned about how we're all feeling, I stayed home from work today. It was a good thing. Cut the grass, got some things done. My mind was off of things. Be back in action first thing in the morning. If anyone ever needs anything, remember to contact us. Do not hesitate. 767-7206, 767-7206. We're here for you 24/7. Thanks, everyone. Back to you, Josue.
Thank you, Chief. And we will now hear from Terry Holden, Yellow Springs School Superintendent. Terry, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Josue. Good evening, everyone. This past Monday, Governor DeWine extended the school building closure in Ohio through the end of the 2019-2020 school year. I think everyone, myself included, was hoping we could end when we reach our minimum hours requirement, which is roughly mid-May. However, the Ohio Department of Education has directed all schools to continue remote learning through their regularly ending school date for this year. And so for us, our regular end date was supposed to be May 29th. So what that means is we will continue remote learning until May 29th. I will be sending out a schedule to all students and families by this Friday so that everyone knows the plan for our remaining 5 weeks. This plan will address completing academic work, as well as the plan for students to retrieve personal belongings from the school buildings, for students to clean out lockers, and for students to return technology devices and any textbooks that they may have. Teachers will be in contact with their classes about this schedule for returning these items. We need to and will absolutely ensure social distancing and other health measures so that we can assure that our students, staff, and families are safe. Finally, I want to thank our teachers for their incredible fortitude the past 4 weeks, and to parents and families and students who've worked with us in our new reality from home during this very difficult time. And that's it for me tonight, Josue.
Thank you so much, Terry. And also joining us tonight is Mayor Pam. Mayor Pam?
Thank you, Josue. Good evening, villagers, township residents. On Sunday morning, I decided to take a walk around the perimeter of the village. Had no idea how long it would take, made some rough estimates. My hiking companion and I departed at 10:15 a.m. and returned to our starting mark at about 1:30. Total time elapsed, in case you're curious, 3.25 hours. Total steps, 17,041. Total distance, 6.6 miles. And I tell you this to let you know I kept very, very careful watch while I was circumnavigating the village on traffic patterns, number of people that I passed, and so forth. And I wanted to report this to you tonight. We're passed by 3 dog walkers, 2 runners, 3 bicycles, and about half a dozen other walkers at various points. Usually then they were all people I knew, all locals, and we observed minimal traffic. The perimeter of the village was for the most part deserted. In fact, I took a few pictures to share with you. So Philip, are you putting at least the first one up there now? These pictures were taken approximately 1 p.m. on a beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon. The first picture is looking north along the bike path. And the second picture, I'm in the same spot. I just flipped around and it's looking south. So as you look at these pictures, I would like you to note what you see, or more importantly, what you don't see. No cars, no people. And now, Philip, if you haven't already, go to that third picture. And that is thanks. I wanted to stick that one in there to give thanks to the Miami Township Fire Rescue for providing the helpful signs that have been reminding villagers and our guests about social distancing. Now, granted, this was a Sunday afternoon early, but look at the fourth picture looking north on Route 68. Again, no cars, none were parked. There were no walkers. So try as I might, and I did not go into the core of the village, I was sticking to the perimeter. Try as I might, I found nothing to complain about. So villagers, you are doing a very good job, very effective job at following our governor's stay-at-home directives. Many of us, of course, do have reason to be out and about, be it for employment, for grocery shopping, for volunteering, for exercise. And so I ask you tonight to continue to use your good judgment, always have your mask, and keep yourself informed. This will help you, this will help your neighbors, and most of all, our community stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Josue, back to you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pam. All right, we will now open the floor for questions. I believe we have a few questions that have come in already. First one, I would like to know if the council is planning on ways to keep the number of Yellow Springs visitors down. I mentioned earlier that we're looking at contingency planning around what do openings mean for Yellow Springs beginning May 1st. This is going to be a gradual lifting of restrictions. So like Colin said, we're not expecting everyone to go out and be able to go out and be back to normal. But we do expect some visitors, and the stay-home order is going to be lifted in some fashion. So we want to plan proactively. So as we look to open parking lots and do other changes around town, we want to still look at reducing the density. So our lots are not going to be fully open. If they are open, we're looking to block off some of the spaces. So maybe every other spot open, or close down every 2 spots in between parking spots. So we're looking at different ways that we can address this. That's a way to reduce the density. Whether folks are coming from out of town or whatnot, we have less ability to keep folks out, and our intent is not entirely to keep people out, but we are sensitive to the number of individuals that we have participating in the recreational activities. So we want to continue to do that work to maintain a lower density and encourage folks to practice physical distancing and other protective measures like wearing masks. We're making a concerted effort to make this common use, make it not just trendy, but just part of your standard tools or things that you have as you go out. We're going to need these. These are going to be very important as we gradually start going back out into the world and enjoying the things that we were so used to enjoying. So there's an effort, a campaign to encourage folks to wear their mask and take other protective measures. I think that's going to be helpful for visitors as they come to Yellow Springs and participate in the recreational activities. They see that Yellow Springs folks are taking this seriously, and we hope that as folks come into town and visit us and they see us all wearing these, they're going to get the message and they're going to do their part to wear their mask and take all the protective measures that they can. Any of my colleagues want to add anything to that question? Okay. All right, next question is, since there are no public restrooms, could that be added to the electric signs? We're currently, as we're evaluating what does a soft opening or gradual lifting of restrictions look like for Yellow Springs, one of those is the messaging. So we will be updating our message board. They will remain in place. We will provide an updated message, something that's relevant. I think the bathrooms are an aspect of that. So we will take that into consideration. So thank you. Any additional questions? Okay. Chief, is there anything you would like to add?
No, nothing new for me, Josue. I appreciate it. I did want to just mention, I've heard this a few times from the medical community, but think of the masks. We're wearing our masks for everyone else as much as we are ourselves.
Yes, thank you, Brian. Okay. All right, we don't have any questions that come in online. Remember, if you would like to submit a question, there's several ways you can submit a question. We have the YouTube chat, and that's a chat box right there on the YouTube channel, and you can type in your question. 2, you could email the questions to Philip at POROURKE@YSO.com, or you can phone them in 937-767-3402. So since we don't have questions, I want to share another announcement. There's an effort underway here in Yellow Springs to recognize our graduating seniors. Karen Wintrow with the Yellow Springs School Chamber is organizing a fundraising effort and leading the project to create banners to recognize all the graduating seniors. There's over 60 of them. I'm a believer that our greatest assets are people. There are our children, there are our students. So it's important that we recognize their effort. This is a big moment for them. They're graduating high school, and they're graduating at a time where they can't celebrate. So we're looking at ways to recognizing them. Putting up banners with their names and pictures will be a great way to recognize them. There's been a lot of enthusiasm already on the campaign, and there's a fundraising effort through the Yellow Springs Community Foundation. So if you want to be part of this effort and recognizing our high school students, I encourage you to visit the website, make a contribution of whatever amount that you can, and help contribute to this great cause. There'll be more on that next week as we put in the details and roll out this campaign. So I want to thank Terry for jumping on board and others who are so supportive of this endeavor. We have a question that's come in. We haven't heard much about the hand sanitizers lately. Is it still relevant? I think the hand sanitizers are very much relevant. It is certainly one way to maintain sanitized hands and helping limiting the spread of germs. We still have hand sanitizers in downtown. We still have stations in downtown area. We are exploring other options. What else could be done? But I think that's an aspect of slowing the spread or reducing the spread. An activity to do that effort will remain in place, and it may become standard operating procedure in the future, not just for the stations outside, but also in the businesses, whether that's grocery stores or traditional retail stores. Any of my colleagues would like to add something to that response? Okay. All right. Okay, we have a follow-up question. That donation will be made to the Yellow Springs Community Foundation. This it's come through Facebook. Yes, the donation for the banner project, the recognizing the high school students, should be made to the Yellow Springs Community Foundation at yscf.org. In the comments, as you make your donation, you can put in the description that this is for the banner project. So that donation will go through Yellow Springs Community Foundation. Thank you. Okay, if there are no additional questions, I would like to end the town hall. Any of my colleagues would like to say parting words? Okay, I want to remind our viewers, our Yellow Springs residents, Miami Township residents, we're in this together, and together we shall get through this. We've done a great job of flattening the curve. Let's continue to do a good job, and watch out for that rebound. We have to stay the course to make sure that we don't have a rebound effect and we get another spike. So please continue doing what you're doing. We are here for you. We are a resource. I'm honored to serve with all of our community leaders here, Mayor Pam, Terry Holden, Brian Carlson. Great team here. We're all looking to do our best and help our residents. And there's so many others behind the scenes, whether that's the 21 mask makers. I think we're above more, but they've done an amazing job at getting these masks done and getting them into the hands of people that need them. So thank you all for all that you're doing. And with that, I want to wish you a good night. Thank you.